Hello, everybody. Oh my god, I'm back. It's so weird. Oh, give me 1 second. I totally forgot to do one more thing. Hold on. Okay, now I'm actually back. I'm not gonna lie, I did just spend like the past 30 seconds looking up when a pizza place is open near us because I haven't had anything to eat today except for like a cookie. So I don't know if that's gonna explain some of my behavior, even though I'm always a little off. I think when I play Heaven Seeker because the fangirl in me just comes out. Hi Eric, hi KT. Streaming the same time as Martian Cat. Not plan. Not plan. I have to give my kudos, give my respect to Cat. Always. I've been trying to get this stream working. It's slightly low. How do I fix that? I'm gonna try to bring it a little bit closer to my mouth and hopefully that helps and I'll just try to project. Um what was I gonna say? Oh yes, this Streamlabs has been kicking my ass for like 2 hours. I was trying to go live earlier. Between technical issues and like adult responsibilities, it just wasn't happening. So I'm gonna have to catch Cat another time. What is she? I'm assuming she's streaming Choices today. I don't know. Or does she stream DBD? I don't know how her schedule has changed. I have not been keeping up with anyone's Twitch account. Hi, Lexi. I know it's been forever. KT said B. She's back. I am back. Thank you for welcoming me back, Eric. How are you? I can't stay long, but want to be here. It starts totally fine. I know that I was starting the stream pretty randomly, so it's not my expectation that people are gonna. I mean, not that it's ever my expectation that people are gonna stick around for hours for me, but guys, I have just been. It is so hard to stay away from the spoilers. And it was either I started streaming today as a surprise because of course I can't plan anything appropriately, or I was just going to spoil the entire book for me and then it wasn't going to be as fun. So this was kind of like the best option. And it's fine because we'll have the stream replay up on Twitch. We'll have it on YouTube. I'm streaming on 2 platforms right now. Hopefully, if everything's going well, I'll be streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Because, yeah, somehow I was actually able to I'm in battle. I'm suited up. I'm ready to go. Y'all, I kind of lurk a little bit here and there. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm on every time, but I do kind of pop in and out every few months. And I think this is how it all started. This is how I got brought back, okay? I was just randomly one day thinking about Heaven's Secret, and I was like, damn, I used to be thirsting over some Lucifer, okay? So I was like, let me just go back and rewatch a couple of scenes. I kind of miss my boo, you know? And I I don't remember what scene or episode I typed in, but I had a specific episode in mind. I was looking for a specific scene, and it must have been season 1 because obviously only season 1 of Heaven's Secret 2 has come out. I started watching and I was like, this looks different. What are all these outfits? I haven't seen these outfits before. And I started to think it was a very well-made fan edit, to be honest. I was like, oh. And then I kept watching because it was the beginning where it was showing you picking your name, your hair, your outfit, and I was like, hold on a second, I don't understand why a fan would need to do this. Then I reread the title and it was Heaven's Secret 2. The way that I could have collapsed on the floor at that moment, I could have just given up. because the fact that Heaven's Secret 2 was out and I had somehow missed it, I'm still very disappointed. And Chasing You. Okay, yes, I did see Chasing You 2 was out. I can't say that I'm as jazzed about that book because like I feel like I didn't really get super into it for the time that I was playing. Like even now thinking back on like my live streams of Chasing You, I don't really remember what the plot was. Like I don't think I feel like even I think we had streamed like up to like episode 6 or something. Maybe I'm wrong. But we didn't finish the book, but like even up at episode like 6, I was like what the fuck is going on in this book? So, I will definitely pick it back up again, of course. But for right now, like obviously, of course, if you know me, my main priority is Heaven's Secret. Duh. I have had some spoilers. It's fine. We're still gonna have a fun time. So let me go ahead. Let me just switch over. Oh, what is happening on here? Holy moly. You know what it is? I full screened it. That's what happened. All right, y'all. Technical issues. Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. Stuff's moving. I don't know if they're moving as haphazardly for you as it is for me, but let's go ahead and get started. Where is Heaven's Secret 2? I gotta find. There we go. I'm like, I already have anxiety. I'm like not even close to clicking on it. I'm so nervous. Theodora and Am I gonna pronounce that right? Arcanium? Are those new? I thought that those were there when I had left off. Or are those just new recommendations, KT? Let me know if they're new releases or new recommendations, but it's okay, KT. I'm not judging you when you're spelling. Don't worry. Um okay. I am admittingly, I'm so nervous. Oh my god. Lucifer and Mabante on one cover? I don't like this. I haven't been on Romance Club in at least a year. Well, Lexi, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you hopping on here, baby girl. Or boy, or what, I don't know what your gender is. Baby person. I'll correct myself. I'm so sorry for assuming your gender. Theodore is on his final season on Arcanium ended. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and hop on that. I guess after I like supposedly eventually finish Heaven's Secret 2 and Chasing You, since apparently those are like the two series that I just left. I'm so nervous. As I posted on Twitter, I did post that I saw a like spoiled CG for Mabante where he was looking fine as fuck. I'm still on my Lucifer shit. Don't worry, I'm not going to switch tracks. All I'm going to acknowledge is that they continue making our uncle fine. And honestly, I'm uncomfortable with it, but I'm not going to deny the way that his illustrations make me feel. Personally, in this like little book cover, I think Mabante is looking delicious. Delicious. I don't really like Lucifer's CGI though, to be honest. Lexi said, and I barely remember Have a Secret, but I'm gonna stick around because I missed your streams. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I literally, when I was doing like my adult shit, I was like low key rewatching like my streams for like for season 3 because but that war, baby, complicated. Complicated. I can't remember anything that happened. So I did go back and try to refresh myself. The only thing I didn't have time to go back and rewatch was like the final war scene, I suppose. But it doesn't matter. KT said I'm romancing him. Good for you. Let me know. Let me know because out of all the LIs that I haven't touched yet, which is basically everyone but Lucifer, Malbonte is candidly like the one that is tempting me the most. I know I talked my shit on him last time because obviously we're related, but I may just have to look past that, to be honest. Okay, enough preamble. Let's get into it. It's episode 1 out of 10. Are all 10 released? I hope so. Season 1 of Heaven's Secret 2, I died and ended up in the world of angels and demons. Immortality gave me power and might, but a force is coming that will take everything from me. Oh no. I thought I had reached the end of my path, but it turned out to be only the beginning. Let's get started. What is this? Loading? Okay. Let me know if the music is too loud. I just had to turn my own... I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I just had to turn my own audio down a little bit. When did they start adding motion to these? Oh my god, her wings are like pulsing. Okay. I was hoping. I don't know how this is gonna go because I know it's like a sequel to Heaven's Secret, so I don't know how much they like pull from your choices from the first book because like I definitely restarted the book and oh, this music is so loud in my ear. I like can't barely understand myself. I restarted the book to like I think do a Mimi playthrough, so I don't know if that like completely reset my my progress or whatever. So I don't know. We're gonna see how this goes. I don't know if it's gonna remember like everything. KT said I was playing scary games and got 2 men killed. Or what? Hold on. What scary games? Which one? Are you talking DBD? I also have not played DBD in a bit. They pulled a lot? Okay. I'm scared. I hope they remember that. Like, Lucy's my baby. Lexi said not her chained up in the beginning. It's so dramatic, isn't it? It's so dramatic. This story is the sequel to Heaven's Secret. To completely immerse yourself, we recommend completing the first story before beginning. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay with Vicky. Your story is about to begin, but first update your look. Okay. I do have, as y'all saw, I am swimming in diamonds. I forgot how many diamonds I had. That being said, I'm gonna try like not to I'm gonna go with my original Vicky and I'm gonna try not to splurge it on like unnecessary looks. Here we go. I mean, nice. Oh, that's good. Is that all? Okay. We'll go with the nunnery outfit for now. That's fine. Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me. Did they come out with a new book? Or a new game? Alright, KT, you gotta catch me up. You have got to catch me up. Again, we're going like, oh, that hair looks terrible on her, but Lord, we're gonna go with it. Oh my god, they added so much animation. Oh. Many of Heaven's flying islands have been set aside for agricultural purposes. Okay. Alright, facts. Go off. Teach me more about the universe of this game. Heaven's Secret Judgment Day. Is that what the name of this chapter is? Episode 1, The Scorched Earth. Warning, this story contains graphic depictions of violence and other adult content. Bets. I wouldn't be playing it if it wasn't. Please enjoy at your own discretion. This is already like very intense. What is this? Oh no, I'm getting like goosebumps. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. What am I looking? Am I supposed to click? Okay. That's scary. It was last year I streamed it. I killed Jamie in my first run, but my second run, all the girls lived. Okay, KT, I'm gonna have to check it out. I've been a little bit removed, honestly. I had to take some time away from the video games because they are very, like, distracting. But I did start playing Dreamlight Valley, like, literally 2 days ago, and, like, the amount of hours I've put in it over the past 2 days is, frankly, a little concerning. The fiery, blazing sky pulsed and expanded like the surface of the sun. Oh my god, where are we? This is so creepy. It's like there's ghosts and shit. I don't know what that word is. Rarefied air. Dry, scorched earth, an endless wasteland of lost souls. This was non-existence. Is this like what happens to the immortals when they die? Isn't non-existence supposed to be literally like not fucking existing? Like how is this? Okay. The Cemetery of Immortals. I don't know about y'all, but when I hear of non-existence, I don't think that there's a setting for that. But we're gonna move past that. Disembodied spirits who had forgotten who they were eternally wandered this place, losing themselves. until one day the sky opened and a woman came down to them. What is happening? She walked slowly along the path, looking around. Who? Okay, big titties. Who is this? Horsewoman. Her inhumanely perceptive pupils picked out certain forms, the remnants of dead individuals, and she approached them, whispering something in their ears. Follow me. No. I have had enough of this man. I've had enough. Phoenicio, ugly ass. Once the soul had begun to dutifully follow her, she approached the next one. Oh, no. No. Mimi did not die in my playthrough. Oh, y'all are... Here they go. Taking liberties. Taking some liberties. No! He did not die. Oh! Oh, no. I'm already beefing with this book. Katie said they're releasing a space one either this year or next year. Okay. Dark Pictures, such a good producer of video games. And new character, yes. Yeah, I don't recognize her, and I don't know why they're lying on me. I would never let Lucifer die. Dino? Oh my god. I mean, who survived in my playthrough then? Had they been able to talk, they probably would have asked her questions, but they had neither throats nor vocal cords and could produce no sounds. Okay, that's dark. And they walked as silent as sleepwalkers, not knowing who they were, what they were, or where they were being led. But some refused, consumed by non-existence. Check your book one quick. Well, that's what I was saying, KT, is that when I finished the series, obviously, with Lucifer as my to-be baby daddy. However, I did restart to replay like Mimi's route, and I didn't really get that far into book one when I had restarted. So like, I just think they just killed everybody. And yeah, Lexi, they killed all of my allies. Like, damn. Except for Andy. You know what? That's the real joke. Is that somehow Andy survived. But some refused, consumed by non-existence. Okay, so we will not be seeing Loy again. Good, I didn't waste any time on him then. The spirit fluttered, his silhouette momentarily lost its shape as it moved, but it reformed into something resembling a man. Do you understand that oblivion will swallow you? Are you prepared for this? The spirit remained adamant. So be it, dragon. Oh, okay, never mind. I was talking shit. Andy is dead. The former person, now only an echo of a soul, felt something was amiss and didn't offer his hand to the stranger, recoiling, dissolving, and shrinking back. Well, you know what? I'm just so glad we don't have to deal with it. You know, it's so funny because, like, the writer, Alice or something, right? She saw how unpopular those two were and just said, we won't even bother bringing them back. Don't worry. We don't need them. Do you understand that oblivion will swallow you? Are you prepared for this? The spirit remained adamant. So be it. They didn't want to follow the living. Non-existence wouldn't let them go. The woman went on without stopping. And then the sky parted again. A whirling rift swirled over their heads, sucking in the silent souls. A rift that would bring them liberation, blood and flesh, but also pain. Was it a gift from the woman or a punishment? Yeah, I think because I didn't, like, my latest save file didn't play all the way through the end of the book. They just went ahead and just killed everybody, making it even playing field. Oh, no. No. Mm-mm. Oh my god. They went all in, bitch. That was nice. I'm officially creeped out. I walked in pitch darkness, not knowing why or where I was going. Oh my god. Something black and dense is pulling everything into the void, dragging me along. Is anyone here? What the fuck am I doing here? Is anyone here? Is that an echo? Am I echoing? Is anyone here? Here? The CGs go off, yes. Okay, we're echoing. My voice wouldn't stop repeating itself like a broken record. The echo intensified, piercing my brain like a sharp needle. Oh. Okay. Chef Malum is here, apparently, everybody. The descendant of my boy. From the darkness emerged a god who had been imprisoned by the creator of light. He had created hell and humans, but his brother Shefa had locked in a dungeon for his cruelty. What do you want from me? You will perish. I can help. Oh, God. The choice you will make now will change the course of the story. Some choices change the plot slightly. Tired of seeing that man. How many times have you seen him? He comes up more than once. I don't know, girl. I'm not really a big fan of Shefa or Shefa Malum, to be quite honest with you. I'm nervy. And I have not looked at a walkthrough, y'all. I do not know what happens if you accept... Maybe it's not even that serious. I'm gonna reject. You can only bring destruction to the world. Do you think we'll accept your help? Oh. He's just staring at me, silence. I stepped back, trying not to show my fear, but Chef Malum felt it anyway. You're afraid, but this will be food for the last brother. What brother? What's that supposed to mean? He laughed venomously. You don't need my help. Then go and ask no further questions. I kind of regret it a little bit now. Wait. But he couldn't hear my voice anymore. Chef Malum had disappeared into the darkness and everything else with him. Is this supposed to be like a flash forward? I startled awake and greedily gulped air as if there in the void there had been nothing to breathe. I was stretching drowsily in bed when the significance of the fuzzy images in the depths of my consciousness dawned on me. Why would Chef Malum decide to disturb my peace after so many years? Pop off, girl. Look at the robe. Whether or not he was telling the truth, it can't be good. Could this be related to what happened last night? What happened last night? Oh my god, what was that? When the moon was at its zenith, there was a deafening whistle and then everything shook. For a moment, it seemed the walls would collapse. But outside, the city seemed calm and motionless, as if only I had felt the quake. I slipped out from under the blanket, threw a robe around my shoulders, and went to the window. The towers of the citadel pierced the sky, sea dragons flew very close, and immortals scurried back and forth. Once upon a time, I was a simple person. I died, went to heaven, and became involved in a war. But before I was dragged into okay, Alice had her thesaurus out, bitch. Maelstrom of events, I was accepted to enroll at the Angels and Demons Academy. I became an unclaimed, the name given to ordinary people who gained immortality and a second chance for life. Oh, Lexi said, wait, voice lines. Oh, yeah, like, I do think that sometimes they did add, like, a few voice lines here and there, but it does seem to be a little bit more frequent. And then, yeah, KT said, watch, they added voice actors to the game. I'm scared. I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it, because if I hear Lucifer's voice and I don't like it, it's going to give me the ick a little bit. Only we, unlike immortals by birthright, were neither angels nor demons. Neither side had claimed us yet. During our training, we had to decide which we would become. I returned to Earth in an unfamiliar form, along with other immortals, to guide humans in the name of harmony. But someone began to kill immortals, and rumors spread about a certain Malbonte, a monster, a powerful half-breed. There used to be a law of segregation in heaven according to which angels and demons could not be intimate with one another. It was said that a child born from such unions died, but Malbonte became the one who survived, and he used his uncontrollable power to kill other immortals. Shefa imprisoned him in a dungeon and sent his parents... Lord, they really given it... Oof. This is like the what you missed last season. And sent his parents to Earth to live out their lives. After a while, Malbonte managed to escape his prison with the help of the dark god, Shefa Malum. Embittered, Malbonte declared war on none other than the creator of light. During a ritual, I managed to take some of Malbonte's power for myself. We defeated Malbonte, but at the cost of many lives. I tried not to think about it, but sometimes the thoughts came rushing back to me. 10 years, and now 10 years, oh my god, after the war, I was standing at my window like a birthright immortal, looking at the city that had become my home. My body remained young, and skin radiantly smooth, but my nature had changed somewhat, and my boyfriend just texted me, distracting the fuck out of me. Okay, that distracted the fuck out of me. Let's get back. I do think I picked a demon. 10 years later and not pregnant. And you know what? Good for her. As someone who's also fellow child-free, good for her. I think I became a demon. Let's just do ordinary. The other ones are kind of ugly, aren't they? I look great, bitch. I had taken a seat on the council to contribute to society's well-being so far as my strength and wisdom allowed. The Citadel became noticeably calmer. A cloud of dark omens no longer loomed over the world of immortals. I pursed my lips to look around the city again. Then why am I so restless? I don't know, girl. What does Shufamala want to tell me? I stubbornly shook my head. No, a being of pure evil like that can't be trusted. He's toying with me out of boredom. Oh, a knock on the door. There's a knock on the door. Come on in. Who is this? An acolyte. Madam, sorry to disturb you. Is my bitch like a president or something? Who is she? What happened? The council requests your presence at the Citadel. I was planning to go there in a couple of hours. I'm afraid you must hurry. Something extraordinary happened. The Citadel needs all of its counselors. A chill ran down my spine. What could have happened? You better get dressed. I stared at the acolyte in puzzlement and then pulled myself together and answered. Yes, of course. I'll be right there. That's right, professional ass. Thank you, madam. The door shut behind the acolyte. I shuddered and looked out the window again. Something's coming. I'm nervous. I'm also upset because, like, I don't know. I guess I thought that they would at least, like, okay, I get it. We're at the Citadel, Heaven's Capital. Thank you. These transitions are something extra, this book. But I'm upset because, like, literally all my allies died. So am I going to have to, like, rebuild my fucking relationship with Lucifer from step 1? Ugh. An icy wind ruffled my hair, biting my bare skin. I took a deep breath, warming my body with my own energy. The high towers of the Citadel loomed over me, seeming somehow reproachful and expectant. For 10 years now, I had been going there almost every day. I was sick of the place. She's just like the rest of us at normal jobs, honestly. Hardcore relate. KT said, yeah, I had to finish book 1 and it saved. Ugh! Okay. I may have to go back and replay this, like, first episode on my own time. But I don't know, y'all. I'm all the way in book 1, though. That's gonna be a lot of playing, a lot of clicking. I wanted change, but I didn't like the changes that I could feel waiting around the corner. A woman rushed past. From the look of her, I guess she was late for a meeting in the other wing of the Citadel. I caught the startled way she looked at me. She almost stumbled and then bowed as low as she could. Oh! Hello, I'm sorry, I'm new here. Okay, you bad bitch. Could you tell me how to get to the meeting place? Her voice trembled and her cheeks flushed. She'd probably never spoken to a counselor before, but if she had been accepted into the Citadel, a bright future awaited her. But she's late, and now she's asking for a counselor to escort her to the meeting. There's boldness in her. Is it laziness or arrogance? What should I do? Just say how to. Why would we be a dick? Why would we be a dick? Explain how to get there. You need to use the entrance on the other side and go up to the 3rd floor. She clasped her hands to her chest and enthusiastically thanked me and then hurried to the other entrance. My actions are gonna have consequences? What is that? The consequence of her getting to the right fucking room? I stared at the spires of the Citadel again. I hesitated at the entrance, gathered my thoughts, and opening the massive weighty doors, stepped into the narrow passage. Mm-hmm. Beautiful artwork. The counselors were arguing about something, their voices filling the chamber like a swarm that dispersed into silence with my arrival. Counselor Vicky. Welcome. We have been expecting you. This is Archangel Ragwell. The immortals bowed respectfully and then spoke again at once. I raised my hand, silencing everyone. Can we just point out, Vicky will be and will always be a bad bitch. The way that she enters the room and everyone pauses, amazing. We aren't going to wait for my mom? Rebecca is not in the capital, but I assure you she knows everything and is no less concerned. My mother died when I was 5 years old. She became a seraph, an angel of the highest order in Shefa's inner circle, although in reality she was far from being an angelic creature. Mom was a strong woman who knew neither defeat nor sympathy. The commotion didn't stop. The immortals' discussions were on the verge of a breakdown. See, KT, that's what I'm confused about, because how in the world did Rebecca live, but none of my allies? Surely, Mom would have managed to quiet them and calm them down. What's going on? As you are aware, we have noticed some changes. That's putting it mildly, Counselor. The dispute flared up with renewed vigor. Some choices increase composure are temper. Okay, choose whatever suits you. In the future, these values will affect the plots. What's all the fuss about? I'll make everyone shut up because they're being annoying. I walked forward, my irritation obvious, and raised my voice, trying to outshout the others. Casey said I killed her. I think I did keep Rebecca alive in my last playthrough. Enough! The counselors finally quieted, took a moment, and sat down in their places ready for a discussion. Now, can you tell me what happened? Is this related to the earthquake that happened last night? Archangel Ragwell got up, cleared his throat nervously, and spoke. We don't know what happened yet. All we know is that anomalies are happening everywhere, as on Earth, so in heaven and in hell. In hell? There is an ice lake there. It has expanded beyond its shores, leading to a decrease in temperature. But that's not what worries me. Shefa, he's missing. What do you mean? Yeah, how we misplaced a god? As a demon, you may not have felt it, but his energy is gone. He doesn't respond to any of the Seraphim. I don't know how to pronounce it. This is very strange. The weather is changing. We all know that this is not a good sign. We must identify the cause of the changes. For a while, everyone was silent, considering what they had heard. I recalled last night's vision warning me about something. It was difficult to concentrate and banish my obsessive thoughts about it. Shefa Malung's existence remained a secret to all of the immortals. No one suspected that in addition to a god of light, there was a god of darkness. We never told anybody? I had buried that secret with Mabante and kept it to myself as something shameful and dangerous. So is Mabante dead? Who knew what kind of uproar such news could cause? Therefore, I couldn't mention my vision. Moreover, it was unclear if it was an illusion, a trick, or something else. I looked around at the counselors' frightened faces and said, oh boy, you have to resolve this somehow. Maybe it's too soon to worry. We can't close our eyes to this. Let's just acknowledge this is quite serious. But for real, how y'all lose a whole god? That's what I'm saying, KT. How the fuck did he just vanish? Report every weird little thing that happens. Every anomaly. We'll try to figure it out, but I don't like it. Alarmed whispers rustled through the chamber. Tension loomed like a stretched balloon on the verge of bursting. Shefa Malung's warning worried me. I exhaled nervously, trying not to panic. If that's all, the counselors rose, thoughtful and anxious, and descended from their platforms. We will keep you informed. The Wing Rangers will patrol heaven, surveying the area and looking for changes. The Wing Rangers. Lord. I went outside as my anxiety grew. I walked around the city alone, thinking about my life. Is she gonna do like a whole summary of her life again? Immortals didn't age in the capital, unlike at the academy. You age at the academy? Time stretched endlessly here, but there, close to ordinary humans, angels and demons' bodies underwent changes. Wrinkles, sagging, fading, everything that was inevitable and perfectly ordinary on Earth. The immortals worked together, but there was still tension between them. Over time, couples began to form. Angels and demons got together and no one persecuted them for it. Good! Shefa had once again vanished from the scene, leaving the children to choose their own destiny. He preferred not to interfere, at least until something significantly bothered him. The war tore apart our world, but we defended it. Whew, sorry, girl. Had to take a sip of water. I'm really trying not to clear my throat in the mic, but Lord. Fate placed me among the strongest and wisest. I became the only demon on the council. The counselors regarded me with caution. I held Shefa's trust in my hands, and the inhabitants of heaven had a confidence in the future. We lived in peace and relative harmony. Oh, I gotta clear my throat again, Lord. But could that all really be coming to an end? Shefa is missing. Has this happened before? According to the counselors, no. I bit my lip so hard that I winced from the sudden pain. I spread my wings and stretched them a little. What's the matter with me today? I rushed out of the citadel, as though I could hide from the problems looming over our world. I wouldn't be so scared if it wasn't for my vision of Shefa Malin, but telling someone about it feels like I would be acknowledging the beginning of the end. Very dramatic. But probably true. The thought flashed through my head and I felt I needed to drive it away. I scolded myself every time I gave in to temptation, and then I tried to forget about it amid feelings of shame at my weakness. But the feeling of impending disaster awoke an anxious nostalgia in me, one which I didn't have the strength to fight. I slowly rose into the air, flapping my wings. My legs felt weightless while my muscles of my back tense, holding my body's weight. I decided to fly to the academy, to the place where my journey as an immortal began. To the place where I'd learned to control my wings, where I had found not only my strength but also my friends and loved ones. A place that my heart longed for, time and time again. That's so sad. This girl really peaked in, like, basically the equivalent of, like, college for her. Not just because of the memories, no, but also because of the present, which I could no longer touch. I'll get there faster if I fly through the cliffs and then turn right. I banked sharply and soared up. Beautiful. Oh my god, this artwork's popping off. My feathers fluttered in the wind, trembling with so much tension that it seemed they'd be torn away at any moment. I maneuvered through the sky, flying through clouds, speeding up and slowing down. The flight was like a meditation. No thoughts, no fear. I hovered near the cliffs. The passage was narrow enough that I could touch the edges with my wings. After a pause, I continued forward. Loud grinding reached my ears, followed by measured thuds. A boulder! A boulder! A stone the size of my body came hurtling down, crashing against the cliffs on its way. Oh, hell no. Oh, the boulder will block the course if I miss out the... Oh! Oh! Oh no! Flew faster, but I didn't have time to maneuver. Oh, fuck. Stone struck my shoulder. Damn. I was thrown aside. I flew out from the cliff, scraping against the rough surface of the rocks. It was the wrong way. Now I have to fly around the whole island to get to the academy. Sorry, girl. You didn't give me a GPS? The clouds opened up after some time, parting to reveal a view of the tower, the labyrinth, the old building that had survived both the centuries and the war. I pressed my wings against my back and lowered my head, beginning my descent. I just knocked some sense into her, didn't I? Angels and Demons Academy. Somehow, a part of me knew that, like, trying to speed up wasn't gonna work, but I did it anyways. I'm not good under pressure. I was spotted from afar. A new teacher, one I didn't know, came out to meet the unexpected guest. When she got closer and recognized me, her expression changed. She almost fell to the ground. Trembling, her eyes darted around. Welcome, madam. Did something happen, seeing as the counselor has come to us all the way from the capital? The teacher closed her mouth, afraid she was being too forthright. Or maybe she was just afraid of me. No, everything's fine. Some choices increase your strength. Oh, okay. She looked at my bloodied shoulder, disheveled hair, and torn clothes. They said you messed up and lose points. Did I lose points? Can I be of any help, madam? Your shoulder. It's nothing. A boulder got in my way and I got a little lost. I smiled awkwardly. Oh, there we go. I did lose points. In my position, being clumsy is particularly humiliating. You were unable to fly there without bitch, I know! I'm getting like 3 alerts. I get it. Stop rubbing it in my face. That's alright. You're here and that's what matters. Can I help you somehow? We were not warned about your visit. I'll call for the principal. The teacher was too excited. I noticed the way her hands were trembling. I don't know the principal. I'm definitely not in the mood for small talk right now. And see if God, Mimi was the principal in my fucking book. No, thank you. I'd like to keep my visit private. I just want to be alone. Here I feel at peace. I should have told Donnie I was coming. Who's Donnie? Oh, of course. I understand. We entered the school grounds. The teacher walked ahead, slightly hurried as if she couldn't wait to flaunt her acquaintance with the counselor. Okay. I don't know why we're here other than her missing it and like needing, I guess maybe coming to a place that's like kind of like a safe place for her. I managed to send her away and leisurely walked along the building, touching the wall with my hand. Once this place had seemed alien to me, incomprehensible and dangerous. Angels, demons, wings, immortality, these things had barely fit into the mind of a girl who had just graduated university and met death under unfair and unexpected circumstances, but time passed and I got used to it. I graduated from the academy and became a demon. I turned around and looked around the backyard. Like a vivid memory, this is very dramatic music. Like a vivid memory, ghosts from the past began to walk before my eyes. I heard their voices and saw them as if they were real. Oh, Mimi! Oh, everyone fucking died! Oh my god. Andy and Loy, we could not even bother to remember them. But then the ghost disappeared and I realized that I was standing alone. The war took too much from me, but it could never take away my memories. Some choices can improve your relationship with other characters. Everyone dead, I'm telling you. I don't want, okay. This feels like it's setting, it's like, English, what's happening? This feels like they're trying to set you up to like have romantic memories about people, so I'm kind of afraid to remember Mimi. Don't reminisce. I smiled at my thoughts. I noticed several immortals in the distance training hard in the backyard. No, I don't need to remember Dino. Someone had forgotten their textbooks on the bench. Celestial Wars, Tristan Malbonte, Death for Immortals, or what is non-existence? I'll forever be mad that I lost Lucifer and Andy, but Andy and the dragon uncle lived. I did not realize that Lucifer died in your playthrough, KT. I wonder who read this. The thick, worn bindings of the book made me think, oh yeah, that's right. Lucifer was a little bit of a little nerd, wasn't he? I remember him. Oh my, what is happening? I needed to find Geralt, our teacher. The other students told me he should be out behind the school, but when I got there was none. Or rather, almost no one. Lucifer sat on the ground in the shadow of a statue and read. Oh. My baby. I walked the whole yard, but I didn't find Geralt. I returned to Lucifer and shuffled my feet, wondering if it was worth bothering him with a question. No. Is this from, like, book 1? Like, actual memory? I walked around the yard again. Where is he? You got what you wanted. His unexpected remark startled me, and I looked at him in bewilderment. What? If you're walking in circles in hope of getting my attention, you've succeeded. Oh, I missed him. Oh, I missed him. What do you want? Spit it out and get lost. What a dick. I love him though. He didn't even bother to look up from his book. actually, I'm not here for you. His arrogance was breathtaking, but at the same time, I found it hard to believe that this demon was the son of Satan. I was embarrassed and even a little scared to be around him. Even a nobody like me could feel his power. And he also didn't have a reputation for kindness or restraint among the immortals. Did you go deaf or something? Lucifer had apparently said something, and now he was staring straight into my eyes, waiting for an answer. Could you repeat that? His lips twisted into a wicked grin. Oh. I asked. He spoke slowly and deliberately, with long, condescending pauses. What are you looking for? I need to find Geralt. Lucifer's expression became thoughtful. I'd even say disappointed, but that would be a stretch. Geralt isn't here. Go away. He took up reading again. I was about to leave, but I hesitated and stubbornly asked, can't I just be here, just like you? This yard isn't your property. She really picking a fight. Lucifer closed the book, leaving a space between the pages to keep his place. He's so upset that I'm interrupting his reading. You're just an unclaimed human. You should be grateful for being granted immortality and wings. And yet you dare speak to me that way? Despite his tone, I could sense something deeper, that he was only pretending to be angry. Waffle! Woo, 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 woo. Didn't see the notification for this? Yeah, it's a very, like, unplanned stream. It's just, like, I had to get this out of the way. I had to get started on this book. Is this Unky? No, this is Lucifer! KT said I'd rather lose Mimi and Dima. I don't care about them. Okay, I do have a soft spot in my heart for Mimi because that's baby girl. We're best friends. For real, a Batman and Catwoman? I think I missed when you had typed that, so I'm not quite sure if I remember what you're referring to when you said that, KT. But I still felt uneasy. You're right. I don't deserve to be here. I couldn't have figured that out without you. I viciously spat out the words, pleased with my tone. I turned on my heel and hurried away. I could feel Lucifer's eyes boring into me, but I would never forget the slightly bewildered expression on his face before I left. I don't know. I don't really know what that reaction was like. Out of all the memories, did you get a better mic? I can actually hear you clearly. So I'm actually using my boyfriend's mic. So thank you. I'm going to have an excuse to tell him why I need to steal his mic now. Yeah, I had my old mic, but like I can't find the freaking charger cord for it. So I have absolutely like no clue like where it is or how to use my mic. So I'm just taking my boyfriend's now. I was looking for students that were half angel, half demon, but there had been few such children so far. Do you call Vicky and Lucifer Batman and Catwoman? Maybe someday the Immortals would get used to the law of segregation's abolishment, and these couples would become more commonplace. Would their children be as strong as him? Oh. I'm scared. Let's just do it. I'm scared though. Malbonte had escaped his dungeon and he would visit me at night. I didn't know if it was real or if I was only imagining his presence because I had absorbed some of his power. Whatever the reason, we were connected. That night I saw him in the shadows and answered his call reluctantly, as if under someone's influence. He led me to a hidden place. The sunlight illuminated his cold, stony face and his pitch-black eyes shining with wicked intellect. There he goes. Ever since I saw that CG of him, y'all, I cannot look at this man straight in the eye. I shivered and looked around. They could spot you. If you think that I'll hide you, you must return my powers to me. I was taken aback by his words. I had been afraid that he'd attack me, threaten me, or take me prisoner. I'd expected many things, but definitely not this. I don't know how. Yeah, how the fuck am I supposed to do that? You could die. This power is too great for an unclaimed. Or I could destroy you. Oh. As soon as I said it, I fell silent from fear of him. Malbonte didn't move. I don't think that's possible. I mean, let's be fucking for real. This guy is insanely strong. He took a step forward, forcing me to hastily retreat. I don't know how to return your power. Stop coming to me at night. You're afraid of me. Well, duh, bitch. Aren't you a clever one? My caustic remark was followed by another shiver. Then why don't you scream? Why don't you run from me? He took a few more steps forward. He better stop. I can't. Goodness gracious. How is this more flirty than the encounter with Lucifer? I was cornered. I wrapped my arms around myself and lowered my head, looking away to avoid his gaze and the feeling of his breath on my skin. I know you won't touch me. You need me. Need it for what? Malbonte looked at me from head to toe, still cold and collected, and whispered, "Not that much." Oh, but she didn't disagree. My power flows in both of us. It draws me here time after time, seeking to connect with you. He was referring to energy and abilities, but nothing in his eyes or voice suggested otherwise, but I still blushed. What do you mean by connect? I don't know. I don't know how to get my power back. Maybe that means killing you. So the fact that I read that line and then I read KT's comment. Indeed, the Riz. He ran his finger. Oh, why is he touching me? He ran his finger along my chin and then squeezed it tightly and turned my head so I was looking at him. Oh my god. Why is she crying? Is she not scared? Or maybe something else. Oh my god. I was afraid he'd continue on that topic, but he felt me trembling under his fingers and let go. Then he took a step back. The air became warmer and the moon seemed to shine brighter. I uncertainly spoke into the darkness. Malbonte? And yes, I am still saying it's Malbonte, not Malbonte. But he was nowhere to be found. I breathed a sigh of relief, but at the same time I felt a strange unease. Maybe it's because your uncle is still flirting with you. A light breeze ruffled my hair, blowing away my memories, but nostalgia led me further. It brought me to the crying virgins. Oh boy. I slowly climbed the stairs, squatted down, and dipped my fingers into the warm water of the fountain. The statues were as motionless as before, and tears flowed down their cheeks to fill the pool. Malbonte's mother prayed for him, but Shefa, the creator of light, forbade her to do so. And the pool has been filled with angel tears ever since. It was especially secluded and quiet there, but that silence felt deathly intense. Are we just doing like a memory walk? Like, when are we going to get to the actual plot of the book? I didn't linger and flew back. Donnie met me at the academy. He must have gotten wind of my arrival. Who is Donnie? Don't tell me you're back here again for this. Oh! Well, he's rude, I can tell you that. Hello to you, too. I'm going to get in trouble because of you. You always say that. And you always promise it'll be the last time. I'll make sure you don't get punished, you know it. Your promises are useless to me. I put on an imposing air. Don't forget who you're talking to, Donnie. You should watch your tone if you don't want to wind up on the chopping block. Oh my goodness. He paled immediately and opened his mouth, but only I can't speak today. Inarticulate sounds escaped. I couldn't help but laugh. I'm kidding. Donnie rolled his eyes, muttered something under his breath, and headed inside. You have 5 minutes. Who is this? I couldn't help but smile as I followed him. We hadn't been close during my days at the academy. Yeah, who the fuck is this? Once we'd been rivals in a competition. We fought several times in talent classes. I do not remember this man. After our graduation in the war, Donnie stayed to work at the academy. He was appointed as the guardian of the Earth's Eye, a bowl from which one could observe mortals. Okay, you said he was in book 1. I believe you. I just don't remember him at all. I'd never been able to forget my father and began to drop in on Donnie to check on Dad. Oh, but that was forbidden. When the unclaimed enter the Angel and Demons Academy, they're given a medicine that dulls the pain of losing their past life and makes them indifferent to it. And I threw that shit out. Otherwise, the longing of return can make you faint or feel unwell, as if from a cold. In some cases, unclaimed were expelled and sent to heaven or hell, like all the other mortals. Mortals that didn't pass the selection becoming chosen ones and were not granted immortality among the heavenly creatures. But I threw away the medicine, deciding to fight the grief on my own, which was one of the dumbest things she ever did. Donnie shouldn't have helped me, but he went against the rules anyhow. He was shaking each time he peered out from behind the door to see if someone was walking by. She's about to get this man in trouble. With the Guardian's arrival, the Earth's eye lit up in the water and it bubbled in anticipation of a request. Hurry up. I hate you. He can't. I kissed Donnie on the cheek. Thank you. Oh, that's it. Go on already. He's sick of us. He stayed near the entrance. I went to the bowl, spread my hands to either side, and leaned over the water's surface. It reflected my face, weary and worried, but just as young as it had been 10 years ago. Show me my father. The water rippled and reflected the fate of one of the 7 billion mortals. The one for whom my heart still yearned. She should have taken that damn medicine. Father was sitting by the window. Oh. Oh. His face was illuminated by a few rays of sunlight streaming between the curtains. The wrinkles, the yellowed whites of his eyes, the way the corners of his lips drooped. He had aged so much during that time. He made me acutely aware of just how unnatural my immortality was. I looked too young and he looked too old. Not father and daughter, but grandfather and granddaughter. It wasn't meant to be like that. It was all wrong. Dad lived the life of a decent man. He didn't deserve to die alone. This is so sad. He was too old to be accepted into the Angel and Demons Academy. Did that mean that he would go straight to heaven, or... It meant that he'd be sent directly to heaven and we'd never see each other again. Never. Damn, you can't... Damn! I thought maybe you could see somebody. He's coughing. Father wiped his lips with a trembling hand, shook his head uncertainly, and began staring into the distance. Grief had robbed him of his vitality. Dad. Oh my god, he looks so fucking sad, dude. Forgetting myself, I extended my hand, but my fingers met only the icy surface of the water. The ripples made my father's image blur and disappear. Yeah, KT, it's fucking dark in this book, dude. Already? You're fast today. I moved away from the bowl and pressed my hand to my eyes uncertainly, unsure whether I should keep my dad's face in my mind or try to erase it from my memory. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm just torturing myself. I told you, you'll go crazy. What should I say? Maybe you're right. So what now? I'll go to the maze and collect my thoughts. I thought that shit was, like, cursed. For real, for real. Just don't do any more stupid things, okay? I won't. And, Donnie, thanks. He waved his hand, then he walked over to the Earth's Eye to remove any traces of the last request. I went outside. KT said nah, go straight to heaven. Don't even get to see your kid. No, that's kind of fucked up, isn't it? The statue of Harmony stood in the same place as always. I sat down on the bench to once again pray to it as my mother had done. Dino had too. To me, it became like a purification ritual, a meditation. After being alone for a while, I was about to leave when Donnie approached me. Be honest with me. Something happened, right? Do I come here only when something happens? Yes, actually. I thought about it. That's true. There were seagulls flying. Did you see them? Dark harbingers. Them too. So, is something going on? I need to go to the Citadel, Donnie. Won't you tell me? I should at least get a few perks for helping you. I mean, he's not wrong. I thought you were doing this for the sake of our old friendship. What friendship, please? Oh, I can't tell if he actually dislikes her or not. I laughed. When I know something, I promise I'll tell you. Okay. Oh, look at his little smile. Oh, look at her. She has friends. I said goodbye and hurried back to the Citadel. When I arrived, everyone was already assembled again. Mom was standing in the center with her hands on her hips as she discussed something with Counselor Alvin. Mom noticed me, looked around appraisingly, and asked so that no one would hear. Vicky, where have you been? At the academy. Now is not the time to relax. And then louder. Counselors, take your seats. We have something to discuss. Have the Wing Rangers found any more evidence of anomalies? I'm afraid so. We've been told of a devastation well away from the Citadel in the far lands. The Wing Rangers reported a crater had formed there. Oh no. A crater? Like from a meteorite? As if someone crashed down onto our lands with great speed. Mom addressed everyone present and her loud, commanding voice echoed off the walls. This isn't for nothing that the heavens are so sensitive to change. Harmony among immortals does not come about on its own. Everything happens for a reason, and you all know what such abnormalities lead to. They're definitely friends with a rivalry, yes. Absolutely. Her and Donnie are a little tongue-in-cheek with their friendship, but they get along. And they really give that woman a bob. They did. I don't know, her name's not Sarah. Rebecca always looks good, though. She's always been a bad bitch from day one. We're left to face a hidden enemy whose arrival changed the weather. And therefore we should prepare even if our opponent remains invisible. Almost all of the counselors stood as if they could no longer contain their nervousness. Then something changed in the air. It was invisible and barely perceptible. Some of the immortals, I cannot talk today. Some of the immortals looked back at the door as if expecting someone to enter. And then there was an explosion. Uh-huh. What? Is this the horse lady? Lexi said, wait, I got whiplash in this. Why is the mom white? They never, even in book 1, they never changed the mom's race or the dad's race to, like, make it match the character. I have to go and watch Vanderpump Rules withdrawals because I turned it off to watch this. Aw, love you too, Waffles. Thanks for popping in. When the dust settled, I could only see silhouettes through the haze. They were pressed to the floor, just like me. Gradually, everyone began to rise. I brushed bits of plaster from my wings and turned to face a hole in the wall, the hole that suddenly replaced the doors. Goosebumps prickled my skin and my hair practically stood on end as I sensed an unprecedented power. A foreign power, one that no immortal could ever possess. The sounds of footsteps reached my ears. What's going on? Is it the horse lady? Is it the fucking horse? That sounds like a little horse hooves. I nervously looked at the figure that seemed to blur within the chaos of the explosion's aftermath. But then the silhouette stopped and the haze cleared, revealing a woman's sneering face. Yup, it's the horse lady. Well, hello, my immortals. Who are you? The stranger's lips twisted, distorting her face. I'm Plague, the great and terrible. Her aura, black and all-encompassing, was spreading over the chamber like an infection. I could practically see her tentacles wrapping around the ceiling and the walls, tightening around her throats like ivy. Looking into her face, I suddenly realized that I had been waiting for her. All of us had. Our adversary, our misfortune, our nightmare. Counselor Alvin stepped forward with his hand outstretched, ready to defend himself. His voice shook with tension as he thundered. Who allowed you to break into the Citadel? Plague threw her head back and laughed for a long time, and then jerked like a marionette, becoming diabolically serious. Wow. You, a mere louse, dare to speak to me in such a tone? No, this bitch is scary. Plague waved her fingers as delicately as though they were painting, and a moment later, wait a second. He exploded? Oh my god. His blood and flesh spattered the walls and the rest of the counselors. Holy shit. I jumped back but stumbled and fell to the ground. Cries of horror and fury erupted from all sides. Oh my god. Plague took a few lazy steps forward, turning first to the left and then to the right. So, no one else is going to fight me? Everyone was silent. Girl pulled a Mortal Kombat fatality. Yeah, you're not coming back from that. How boring. Such sensible, timid pups. She leaned forward a little and her smile widened. Maybe I should kill everyone at once then. If we don't do something... Oh my lord, I feel like... Okay. I'm gonna try because it's the diamond scene, but this diamond better not get me fucking killed. I stepped out into the middle of the chamber. Vicky! Plague was standing a short distance away, her eyes fixed on me and only me. Well, hello. She breathed in nosily. Noisily? Like that? Human. That's funny. What do you want? What do I want? Chaos, despair, blood, and ashes. She once again broke into wild laughter. Damn. Blood and ashes. I'll start with you, human. She rushed towards me. I rushed at her too, reaching for the dark power I'd drawn from Malbonte that lay dormant in the bottom of my soul. This is where Andy and Dragon Boy died. Oh, okay, so I guess if they survived, this is where they died. Either way, good spots for them to die in. I'm fine with that. I awakened it and gathered it at my fingertips, ready to throw all of myself, every last drop at this creature. How interesting. I don't know how to, like, how do you do an evil laugh? Like, ha 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 ha. Is that good? I only managed to hit her with a shockwave, but Plague threw me across the chamber in response. I can't believe I paid diamonds to get my ass handed to me. I hit my head on a solid wall. My senses were muddled for several long minutes. I slowly got up, not taking my eyes off of Plague. She only laughed in response. Still conscious, huh? What a strong girl. And brave. My legs were shaking, but I held- Oh, I got strength points. Okay, so it wasn't for nothing. My legs were shaking, but I held on. Eric, understatement of the fucking year. You're coping with despair and suppressing it. But Plague didn't give me a chance. Before I could strike again, she waved her hand. Is it a diamond rush? No, I don't think so. No. Her power surged towards me in a wave, and I would have been torn apart, just like the counselor, if I hadn't managed to conjure a protective dome. She did cartoon throw her. Yet I could feel the energy directed at me, and this left me on the floor, gaping. My vision blurred, sounds warped, and then went silent. I was on the verge of fainting. My body couldn't recognize who was saying it or what they were saying. I tried to get up, but a sharp pain in my stomach stopped me. I looked down, confused. Blood. So much blood. Was it really all mine? So you will get the ugly bedroom, right? If they offer it to me, I'll take it. I feel like I have to. Everyone froze like prey that sensed a predator nearby. We hoped that Plague would pass by without noticing us, would spare us. The strongest, smartest immortals felt defenseless against the unknown force that appeared from nowhere, falling upon us like some diabolical punishment. The silence was broken by the crushing of glass under someone's feet. She having a fun time, and then they appeared. My man, back from the fucking dead. And he looking good as hell, too. Oh my goodness. Who gave him this fit? Who gave him it? Did Plague dress him up? He looks... Oh my god. Hold on a second. Dino look kind of fine. Alright. We're gonna skip it. Mimi! Oh my god. She stopped straightening her hair. She looks good, bitch. Anyways. Who is this? Who's Torundo? Damn, everyone came back to life. My palm was sticky from my own blood, but I pressed harder, feeling nothing but shock. So here's what happened, Eric. Let me re-explain for everyone who missed what happened. So basically, I did, obviously, of course, finish the first book with Lucifer and Mimi and Rebecca alive. However, because I restarted the first book, because I was doing like a Mimi playthrough, they put me on some sort of like default, like KT said, beginning, where everyone just fucking died. Like, not a single person survived. Plague laughed again and stepped forward. Well, shall we play? This chapter was like literally 75% reminiscing. I'll rate it because I saw Lucifer twice, but ooh, 30 diamonds, bitch. Okay. I can't stop myself. I need to go ahead. I need to play episode 2 because I need to see Lucifer. Plague arranges the pieces on the chessboard. It looks like I'll be just a pawn to her. Spicy. I have no idea how they're gonna get out of this one, y'all. No clue. So that happened to me as well since I restarted at some point and I decided to finish my replay before starting. Yeah, I literally didn't get further than like maybe halfway through book 1 and that's just a lot of clicking. That's a lot of clicking for me. Okay, facts. The Immortals' clothes feature a special design. There are slits on the back for the wings, as well as buttons to facilitate the dressing process. Okay. I was thinking that recently. I was rewatching some of my old streams, trying to like remember what happened in the first book. And I for real did think like, how the hell did they get their clothes on? As a child, I loved watching adventure movies. I thought it was fun to often be on the verge of death, yet escape it every time. In reality, there's nothing fun about it. Episode 2, Plague Show. Okay, Citadel has a dungeon. I didn't know that. My eyelids fluttered open slightly. There was only darkness and damp cold that made my bones ache. I tried to concentrate to warm my body, but my head was hurting so much that it was a futile exercise. The silence was broken only by the rhythmic sound of droplets falling to the floor. It smelled of waste and blood. I shifted and the chains jingled in response. The door instantly swung open as if someone on the other side had been waiting for me to wake. Blinding yellow light filled the cell and illuminated me, dressed in rags, disheveled and wounded. You've come to your senses, human. Holy fuck, I look like shit. I wasn't expecting something that bad. I really wasn't expecting it to be that bad, y'all. I took a step forward, but the chains held me back, rattling again. Your leash is too short, dear. Plague came closer and ran a nail along my chin, carefully examining my eyes. I jerked my head, shaking off her touch. What's going on? Where is everyone? Where is everyone? She pondered before slowly answering, her lips stretching in a malicious smile. Dead. She's a good villain, I'll tell you that. My brain couldn't process it. I couldn't think or remember. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck we got into the cell. But it was hard not to believe the stranger's cruel words. She said it so plainly and horribly that it seemed true. Plague expectantly watched my reaction with a sort of childish enthusiasm. I closed my eyes and looked away, trying to contain my feelings, but she didn't give me a chance to cope with my pain. She grabbed me by the hair and pulled me back. Don't hide, little bird. I can see everything. You'll be a wonderful toy for me. I tried to break free, but she held on so tightly that I couldn't. What is going on? Who are you? She already introduced herself. Plague pushed me away, straightened up, and began to walk thoughtfully around the cell. It's time for a change. She stopped and turned to me. Diffused light fell on her, making her expression look particularly malicious. Heaven has come to an end. Your world has come to an end. What have we done to you? It was inevitable. If not now, then later. It was only a matter of time before we got to this point. We? Yeah, who's we? Someone else entered the cell. Plague turned towards the newcomer, and then I saw him. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Mm-mm. No. This motherfucker. Everything's ready. He was dead. This can't be. Watch hell and wait for my instructions, and don't do anything stupid. I'll keep your son by my side. Fine. He didn't even bother to look in my direction. He left, taking the answers to my questions with him. I jumped up, stretching my chains to their limit yet again. I remember. They're back. Everyone who died is back. Did you do that? How is that possible? Okay, just more silence. Plague was pleased with my distress. Without looking away from me, she slowly walked towards the door. Just say, please answer me. I screamed so hard that my voice cracked. What's going on? Plague lunged close to me, drew her face alongside mine as if sniffing cologne, and said, "Oh, how lovely. Such a great toy." Desperation is gradually paralyzing you. And then she went to leave, but she lingered in the doorway to say, "I'll come for you when I get bored." Oi, 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 oh my goodness. KT said, "Oh lord, not him." Agreed, dude. Worst character. Aw, okay, good night, Eric. The door closed, filling the cell with darkness and frightening silence. I fell to my knees and buried my fingers in my hair. Recent events flashed through my mind, bringing me back to reality. Dino looks sad as fuck. Lucifer kind of has like the same smug face he always has. You know, really, why is it only Mimi and Dino have the decency to look sad? Well, Bonnie and Lucifer couldn't bother to change their faces. Okay. I don't care about Phoenicio or Torrendo. I barely remember who Torrendo is. They're all alive, but how? Is it possible to escape non-existence? Trying to calm down, I leaned against my wall and wrapped my arms around my knees. The change and my exhaustion kept me from using my powers, so I couldn't regulate my body temperature. I felt cold. I did not... Oh, wait, yeah! I forgot they could do that. It could have been freed by Plague, but what kind of power does it take to do something like that? In my mind, I replayed Plague's appearance, what happened before and what followed after. Several hours passed before fatigue took its toll. When I woke up, I was greeted by the same darkness. My eyes slowly got used to it, and I could distinguish the walls, the ceiling, and some stains on the floor. I don't know how many days, maybe weeks, I spent in the dungeon. No one fed or visited me. How do immortals not, like, starve? A couple of times it seemed to me that someone came by. I heard some voices above me, one calm, the other one excited, but by the time I found the strength to open my eyes, the door was already closing, taking with it splinters of light. This is really dark. To pass the time, I walked around the cell as far as the chains allowed, pressing a palm against the damp walls. I was able to study every bump and scratch. To fill the seemingly endless quiet, I recalled some university lectures. Before my death, I graduated from the University of Arts. She was an artist. How long it had been. It's important for an artist to become attuned before painting. She's fucking losing it, y'all. One of my distinguishing features of Chinese painting is the tradition of representing oneself as someone or something else. A tiger, a tree, a flower, or a house. I froze and asked the void. And who am I today? She's losing it. I am a tree. Again, I began to roam the cell like a ghost. The longer I was alone, the more often I would talk out loud. The sound of my own voice soothed me. It brought life to that forsaken place. No one brought me any food, and the chains relentlessly drained my energy. My stomach seemed to press against my spine, and my throat was painfully dry. How long? How long can someone go without eating as an immortal? How long had it been since I last ate or drank? A month? If I were a human, I would have died long ago, but I was immortal, and that meant my suffering would be eternal. Oh shit. After all, only another immortal could kill an immortal, and only intentionally. Death was preferable. Soon I stopped walking around the cell. I was laying on the floor, staring blankly into the darkness. I reminisced. This is tough, dude. This is dark. Counselor Alvin held out his hand to me. Madam Vicky, you've been an immense help to Sheffus. Let me help you too. I have experience in council affairs. I will guide you if you would do me the honor. My mom gonna guide me? I was walking around the Capitol when I noticed a caricature drone on the wall. Oh. Not them graffitiing Malbonte. That's crazy. The wall was covered in spit and stains from tomatoes. Holy shit. I turned around and looked into the distance. Somewhere out there was a cemetery for those who had died in the war. It was blanketed with special flowers that never wilted. Justice had prevailed. Some were revered and remembered, while others I had moved on. Are we gonna get to, like, is someone gonna let us out of this fucking cell? I was still in the dungeon. Was I still alive, or was this non-existence? My body was as cold as the walls. At first, I tried to scream, but with time it felt ridiculously meaningless. No one would let me out of there. Ever. My mind kept on diligently sifting through dusty memories in search of the life that had been taken from me. The next choice will improve both friendships and romantic relationships. Okay. I remembered having fun on Earth with the mortals. Let's do it. Oh. What is this? We had a short break in our courses, and the teacher suggested taking a sort of vacation and going down to Earth. In Mexico, they were celebrating Dia de los Muertos. We ended up right in the middle of the crowd of painted, dancing, and singing people. Mimi squealed with pleasure. This is amazing. She immediately rushed after the others. The ordinary immortals saw her differently. They didn't notice her wings or burning eyes. To them, she looked like everyone else, a simple woman honoring the dead. A little girl handed Dino a sugar skull and ran on. Thanks! But the little stranger had already disappeared into a crowd of adults. Lucifer stood with his hands in his pockets. Weirdos. I thought death meant mourning for them, and here they are, having fun. They believe that this is the day when the dead come home. But they don't. I stooped to pick up a bouquet of flowers that someone had lost. I don't think that matters much. The important thing is that they don't forget those who are gone. Mimi emerged from the crowd and extended her hands to us, beckoning. Come on, why are you standing there? Let's go. She led us along. It's nice to revisit a happy memory, because, like, this book's been so fucking depressing so far. Women were twirling, children were running, and decorations glittered all around us. There were candles everywhere, lighting the way for the souls. Lucifer kept his distance, while Dino let the strangers from the crowd lead him with a soft smile. Mimi began to dance, imitating the locals. Vicky, dance with me! She pulled me towards the dancing people and began to show me the moves. At first, I was embarrassed. I knew... Somehow, I knew that was going to be in the dialogue. I knew that Dino and Lucifer could both see my embarrassment, and that made it even worse. They were watching us, Lucifer intently, and Dino with a reassuring smile. Mimi gently took my hands and shouted over the music and the voices. You got it, don't be shy. I started to follow her lead, at first slowly, and then I gradually relaxed until I finally forgot about all the people that were watching us. There were songs, dances, girls in skeleton costumes, flowers, jewelry, makeup, and lots of candles. So many bright colors, so much laughter, all of it in honor of the dead. I wish I could treat death with that sort of serenity, respect, and joy. After all, death was so natural, right? But for me, it wasn't anymore. I continued to dance, choking on my overflowing emotions. Mimi laughed, and Dino and Lucifer were both already smiling. Aw, Lucifer smiling? watching all of the buzzing, colorful Dia de los Muertos festivities with wide eyes. That was such a sweet memory. Oh, what a sweet memory. That is so cute. Does someone have their arm on Dino? Is that supposed to be Lucifer? That is so stinking cute. No, this is so heartwarming. I stopped to catch my breath. My hair was wild and my cheeks were burning. Wow, that was great. You're really something. If only Miss Lania could see you two. She'd faint. We laughed. Aw, people celebrated around us, people oblivious that winged beings from which they would have fled in horror had infiltrated their festivities. It was an ordinary, human holiday filled with more significance than the lives of some immortals. That was so nice. Only my dreamless, and here we go. Back to the depressing cave we're stuck in. Only the dreamless sleep saved me from the dull gloom. From the hunger, the ringing in my ears, the trembling in my body, I felt that if I stepped out into the night, I'd probably go blind. The darkness was so ingrained in me. But a miracle happened, and after what seemed like an eternity, the door opened. Oh my goodness, I covered my face with my hands. Squinting, I tried to see my savior. Pike! Who's Pike? Oh, it's him! Hello, madam. He helped me up. Too weak to stand, I hung from his arms and searched his eyes for answers to all of my questions. What's going on? You need to shower. Let me take you to wash up. I pushed him as far as my strength allowed. I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what's going on. My body couldn't support me and my knees buckled, returning me to the acolyte's arms. He removed my shackles and led me to the door. Pike, where is everyone? What's happening? I'm not allowed to talk to you, madam. Why? Who ordered this? Who would dare? Why are her eyes closed? I could hardly move my tongue, but I couldn't stop whispering. I hadn't talked to anyone for so long. Pike said something to me, but I couldn't make out his words, and then I lost consciousness. Well, at least she's out. Oh, bitch, this is a nice motherfucking bathroom. Oh my god. Scalding water burned my skin. I jolted to my feet, awake. Pike's sympathetic voice came from around the corner. I'm sorry, madam, but you need to warm up. I left you clean clothes. Tell me when you're ready. Why are you doing this? Madam, please do as I ask. He's guarding me. I don't think I'll be able to escape, and how would I? I grabbed the edge of my frayed shirt and froze in doubt, but after a moment's thought, I undressed completely. I lifted my head and closed my eyes, letting the water wash away all the dirt. I know she stank, bitch. The mere thought of going back to the dungeon made me sick. No matter what happened, I just couldn't. I couldn't take it anymore. I don't blame you. Without the shackles, my strength was slowly beginning to return. Some of my wounds would leave scars. They hadn't healed when I got them, and it was too late for them to regenerate. My bruises began to lighten, the ragged remnants of my nails began to regrow, and my hair recovered noticeably. Immortality brought me back to life. I got out of the shower. Can I have a towel? I'm sorry, madam, they didn't give me one. Who didn't? Silence. Yeah, he's not gonna tell you. Fine. I hastily pulled the clothes onto my wet body. That's kind of fucked up. Kind of fucked up. That they wouldn't even, like, let you dry off. Then I smoothed my hair. God, they be making you look like shit if you don't buy the diamonds. When I was ready, I went towards the sound of the acolyte's voice. He was startled by the sight of me. Madam, you look better. Follow me. I don't know why she giving him a stink eye. It's like not his fault. Not like he has much choice in what's going on. Pike walked ahead, constantly glancing back to make sure I hadn't run away. Are you with the plague now? It's not his choice. How could you go over to her side? He stopped abruptly and turned to me with a stony, devastated expression. We didn't have a choice. You'll have to too, madam. If you want to survive, bow your head and forget where you once stood. It doesn't matter now. What are you? But Pike had already... Oop. Give me 1 second. But Pike had already turned away. He took a few more hurried steps and flung open the doors. The first person I saw was Plague. He was sitting on a throne with one leg crossed over the other, self-assured, proud, dangerous. Behind her was a woman I didn't know. Was it the same bitch from earlier? Malbonte and Lucifer were next to Plague. Holy shit. Mimi and Dino stood motionless on a platform. What the fuck is going on? Opposite them were Fenicio and Torrendo. Seeing all of them, I stumbled. Peg saved me from falling, but I didn't have enough strength to straighten back up. Dumbfounded, I looked at all of them from my stooped position as the acolyte supported me by the elbow. Their eyes were fixed on me. Only Dino was looking at his feet. Plague sprang up in her throne, pressed her clasped hands to her lips, and joyfully exclaimed, "Oh, my little bird, I can't even tell you're immortal. You've lost so much weight. You aren't such perfect creatures after all." She was imprisoned without food or water for 3 months. It's no wonder. I scowled at him on the verge of fury. The war was in vain if he's here now. What will happen now? I wonder what happens. I guess not much changes if you, side with Malbonte, but it is very strange. Yeah, I mean, those are not humane conditions to keep anyone under. Lucifer, Dino, Mimi, Malbonte, were they all on Plague's side? So, did Little Bird like her cage, or is she ready to spread her wings? I opened my parched lips and said, "Oh boy." I don't know what. I don't know, say. It's not for the change, it wouldn't be so bad. Plague burst out laughing. You aren't picky. Plague seized the woman beside her and roughly pulled her closer. This is Eve. The fuck is Eve? Who is she? Yeah, who is she? I took a few hesitant steps. It was difficult for me to stand on my feet, but I forced myself to straighten up and look at her intently. Who are you? Why? My voice dropped to a whisper. Why are you standing next to her? Why don't you fight? This is the part of Vicky. Vicky's starting to get on my fucking nerves. Because the way that she refuses to understand that, Plague will literally kill everyone in, a millisecond is so frustrating. I took a few more steps, but I stumbled, falling to one knee. Plague chuckled softly as she watched me try to get up. My muscles shook so much that it was embarrassing. I didn't think I'd be able to get up, but someone's measured steps broke the silence in the chamber. I looked up and saw Lucifer. He extended his hand to me. What a dreamboat. I froze, looking up at him. Plague angrily slammed her hands down on the armrest. Did I give you permission to help her? Lucifer's hand trembled, but he didn't take it away. He turned his head and said, "We don't have time to wait for her to stand up." Oh my god. You know it's scary when, the son of Satan is afraid of her. Then he looked at me again. Seeing that I wasn't moving, he grabbed my wrist with one hand and my waist with the other one and sharply pulled me up. For a moment, we were pressed against each other. Oh. He sighed in annoyance, and his hot breath brushed my cheek. I can't believe you held such a high rank. Ooh, that's mean. His words wounded me like a knife, but his hands held me gently without any trace of hatred. And then he let me go. Plague stroked the armrest of her throne imperiously. As you must have realized, now I am in charge here. I looked around at everyone who was present and swallowed hard. Non-existence. They were in non-existence. How is this possible? As if reading my mind, Plague replied, I resurrected everyone because that's the law. I had to do it. She stroked Ooh! Oh, no, no. She is touching my man. She is touching him. Does this happen if you don't romance Lucifer? Like, if you don't pick Lucifer as a diamond option, does she, like, twirl her fingers in someone else's hair or something? Or is he just, like, her pet or something? Katie said the way I would gas. Absolutely. That insult was harsh. She stroked Lucifer's head and began to wind his hair around her finger. At first, he flinched, not hiding his disgust, but his emotions vanished behind a mask of indifference, and only the grinding in his jaw betrayed his tension. Plague continued. Soon, my brothers will come and will bring heaven to its knees. Who are you? Her lips stretched into a smile. The horsemen of the apocalypse? Okay. Got it. Understood. I staggered. I looked at Lucifer, but he looked away. His lips twisted in what I took as contempt, turned inward. Or maybe it was meant for me? Then I turned to Dino. Dino, you... But I didn't finish my sentence, noticing his blank look. Mimi seemed to be waiting for me to call out to her too, but as soon as I looked at her, her gaze fell to the floor. I looked at them, gasping with pain and disbelief. What had Plague done to them? Or maybe I was the one who didn't understand. Maybe I was really that naive. You are. The horsewoman rose from her throne and approached me with a cat-like, playful gait. Now everything has changed, my little bird. You'll have to obey. She walked around and stopped behind me, whispering in my ear. A few rats may have escaped the ship and hidden away, but they're not a hindrance to me. She licked my earlobe and laughed, pulled away. Not the sexy licking, not the licking from the person I would want it to be from. I wiped my ear in disgust and turned to her. Where did you come from? We aren't from here, little bird. Do you think you're unstoppable? You are alone against heaven, against Shefa. Plague came a little closer and whispered excitedly. You don't get it. I'm your creator now. She rocked on her heels, then clung to me again and... She can just tell me. You know, for someone who lives at the very top, it's easy to come down. To me, your dimensions are like curtains. Just nudge them aside and I can slip through. That's how I ended up in Shefa's abode. He wouldn't let you. I was expecting a more powerful creature. She looked at her nails, obviously bored. It was so easy to kill him. You're lying. Shock left me silent. Goosebumps prickled on my skin. And now I'm realizing that I probably should have accepted Shefa Malin's help. Shefa is gone. I'm your creator now. She killed him. How is that possible? Who is she? Where does this power come from? I looked at the others again. Is that why they aren't fighting back? They know it's pointless? All your friends have accepted the new order. So has heaven. The time will come and you'll get it too. I trembled with horror. I can't. Yeah, I don't know how the fuck we're getting out of this situation. What was that, little bird? Speak up, I can't hear you. I can't give up so easily. I closed my eyes and called on Malbante's dark power, a part of which I had taken during the ritual that released him. When the power responded to my call, the black energy filled my veins and soaked into my bones and flesh. Plague took a few steps back with an expectant smile. How amusing. You all go through this before you truly realize how insignificant you are. I'll just say, let's see. I extended my hands, aiming directly at Plague's head. Die. A rush of darkness burst from my palms. She does not look scared at all. Plague dodged, but I managed to hit her just barely. Then she turned to me, I saw a small scratch on her cheek, which instantly healed. What is that say? Plague feeds on despair, but around you she'll remain hungry. Okay, so basically I have to not be sad when this bitch is around. Got it. I was breathing heavily and I fell to my knees again. After my long confinement, it was too much for me. Plague rubbed her cheek and laughed. How cute. She burst into delighted laughter again, looking at me in a new light, then turned to Mabante. Why didn't you tell me that she has your power? I didn't realize it right away, but there can be no doubt. Mabante pursed his lips and looked at me with bitter condemnation. He's not happy about me having his power. He's upset. Plague's voice suddenly became serious and menacing. You need to get it back. I need strong helpers. What do you say? Mabante reluctantly replied. I will say that I have long wanted my powers back, but I didn't know how. No problem, pup. You could have just asked. Plague approached me. What the fuck is she about to do? KT said, ooh. She pressed her hand to my forehead and with such force that I had to tilt my head back. No. I tried to dodge, to fight her off, but Plague grabbed me with her other hand. No one moved. No one lifted a finger. Damn, they look sad. Except for Lucifer. Lucifer, who grew up with a very abusive father, can definitely, for sure, keep his shit together. Absolutely. Oh, Mimi looks so sad. And of course, Malbante is completely unreadable. Venetia, okay, do we really have to look at all these people? No one will help me. This will hurt. I felt a sudden jolt. Oh boy. 100 invisible needles pierced my brain as my organs burst and my brain and heart were ground to a pulp. So dramatic. I convulsed and fell to the floor, but Plague once again lifted me, holding me with one hand. And then she took her hand away from my forehead and a black thread stretched behind it. Without turning, she said, Mabante, come here. He slowly descended from the platform and stopped near her. This power belongs to one person only. It has no place in a human body. Plague stretched the thread to Malbante's chest. He shuddered as it passed into him and closed his eyes. I watched my power return to him, making him even stronger. I felt myself growing weaker, felt emptiness consuming my body. Damn, bitch. Vicky cannot fight without that power. How could I survive in the world now? That's a good question. How could I deal with that emptiness? When it was over, Plague pushed me away. I would have fallen if not for Malbante's swiftly outstretched hand catching me by the elbow. Are you happy? You always knew you were using something that didn't belong to you. I wonder what other interesting things she's hiding. She again came close to me, wrapped her hands around my head, and looked into my eyes. She burst into my mind, rudely and unceremoniously, tearing down every block I attempted, obliterating my pathetic efforts to hide my consciousness. She tore and destroyed, crushing small memories to dust along the way in search of something useful to her. Oh boy. Oh, her dad. No, don't do this. So your father is still alive. You're new to heaven. Intriguing. It's none of your business. We'll see about that. Finally, Plague returned to her throne. I felt relief. Plague had enjoyed herself for the moment, but what else would she come up with? The acolyte ran to the center of the hall and fell to his knees. Mistress, the rest of the counselors are waiting for you in the next room. Finally, you brought them. Let's go. Plague jumped up and ran, almost skipping towards her victims. Pike gently pushed me in the back so I'd follow the others. Oh boy. The entire leadership of the Citadel was kneeling on the floor. Among others, Aragon caught my eye. I have not seen him in a while. Aragon, hello. Before the war, he had been the chief counselor of the Citadel. He was very ancient and powerful and mortal, descended from an influential family. Mom respected him. He taught her a lot. Aragon had died, but Plague brought him back too. Why? How many others has she revived? Plague slowly walked past the immortals, her heels clicking on the tiles. Oh, my dear obedient ones. Each of you tried to fight me, but that's so boring. My brother loves to fight, but I like something else. Aragon shook the raven from his shoulder and it flew off away from them. The former counselor rose to his feet and scowled at Plague like a cornered beast. I didn't come back to kneel before you. He rushed towards Plague, swiftly changing direction, again and again. Aragon was so quick that his movements likely would have escaped mortal eyes. Plague stood still. She distantly looked at the floor and smiled. And then she jerked her hand to the side, grabbing Aragon by the neck. Oh, hi! Hello! How are you doing? I missed you guys too. I mean, the good news is that, like, we haven't gotten to anything super juicy as far as, like, LI stuff yet. It's just kind of like plot setting. But I'm glad you were able to pop in. She had calculated his movements and knew where he'd be. She squeezed his throat. Oh, so KT, we're, like, streaming on multiple platforms. So, like, I don't know if you're looking at Twitch, if it's gonna pop up. I think it's, like, from YouTube, like, showing on my streaming screen. Should show you everyone's comments, even on different platforms. She squeezed his throat and threw him to the floor so hard the tile shattered. Damn. Leaving a mark beneath him. Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Should have kept his fucking mouth shut. I joined on Twitch now. I don't know why I didn't get a notification on here. Huh. I don't know. That is weird. I don't know if I can look into that and fix that, but we'll see. But I'm glad you're here either way. I told you, I don't like fighting. Why are you testing me? And yet, that was so desperate. Shall we look inside your head, Aragon? You won't. And then his eyes glazed over and his face grew paler. Plague broke through his every defense. An alien, playing by her own rules on foreign ground. I covered my mouth with my hand, and I kept getting chills. Aragon had nearly passed out when Plague finally let him go and moved on to her next victim. She tortured everyone she laid her hands on. She tormented them with the details of their own lives, twisting everything she touched. Some immortals didn't come to their senses after her invasion. Their faces remained unaware. They continued to look blankly ahead, unsteady on their feet. Oh, she's a good villain, bitch. Plague, satisfied with the result, moved away from them, then said in a commanding voice, "Get up." Several of them immediately stood. Oh, what the fuck is that? What is that? Plague raised her hand and from somewhere behind her a rat appeared and scurried onto her palm. Shall we give you a try, my girl? She lowered the rat to the floor. It ran over to the risen immortals and suddenly dived into several, divided into several rats, one for each glassy-eyed victim. Each of the rats climbed a body and left a bite mark before jumping to the floor and merging back into a single rat that returned to the mistress. Ulcers began to spread over the victims' bodies. Gross. Did she infect them? They began to scream and run in seeming agony until Plague raised her voice again. Calm down. The infected immortals stopped and became silent. That is so gross, dude. Plague poked at one of them. Oh, you should throw yourself out the window. Yes, they're broken and high. She paused, smiled maliciously at her thoughts, and added, "You want to kill yourself." She turned to the rest of us who were watching her with horror. We don't want him to stay alive, do we? Oh my god. The immortal obediently fulfilled her request. He went to the window, climbed out into the sill, and jumped out. Oh! Oh! Oh my god. Thanks for joining at one of the most depressing parts of the stream. This is dark. There was a distant muffled thud as if a bag of water had been dropped. Plague kissed the rat, pleased. How do you like our show? Yeah, this is fucking scary, Dina. Oh my god. He only looks kind of perturbed. Lucifer's seen worse. She looks horrified. Again, Mabante can't read this bitch. If I was playing poker against him, we'd all be losing. Everyone was silent. Only Torrendo spoke up. You never cease to amaze. Stop sucking up. I hadn't made a sound since Plague lost interest in me. It was hard to formulate thoughts or make sense of my feelings or state of mind. Not the rat. Yeah, she got a whole team of rats. I'll just always assume it's like this with you. Thank you. It's always really dark over here. The only thing I knew for sure was that Plague would burn the world to ashes and no one could stop her. The rest of the immortals, subject to her influence, continued to stand motionless. Plague sighed sadly. When I do this, they don't last long, not even immortals. Soon I'll need new puppets. She addressed her remaining toys. Be my shield, kill anyone who tries to attack me. The puppets nodded awkwardly. Wonderful. She rubbed her palms impatiently. And now I'd like to take a walk around the city. In all this time, you never gave me a tour. Plague pouted why can I say this? Theatrically. Lucifer, Malbonte, be my tour guides. She has such a crush on the two of them. She turned to Mimi and me. You're coming with me, too. She stepped closer, smiling conspiratorially at her own thoughts. Except, you can't walk animals without a leash, right? Oh, she's devious, bitch. Pike, bring the ladies their necklaces. Yes, mistress. Mimi backed away towards me. I stopped her by pressing outstretched fingers against her back. I whispered, what advice should I give her? Don't show her your feelings. That's all she's looking for. She'll lose interest in us if we don't respond. Mimi irritably whispered back, you don't know what she did to me. You have no idea what she's like. Plague will never get enough of playing with us. Meanwhile, the horsewoman was returning with shackles in her hands. Here are your collars, my dears. She needs to keep her claws off of Lucy. I mean, seriously, dude. She has, like, such a hard-on for the two of them. She put one on Mimi. I mean, at least it's gold, right? Like, kind of matched the fit, though. And then she came up to me. No. Romance Club, Alice, we need to talk right now. There's no fucking way you think I'm paying diamonds to customize my collar? My collar? My prisoner shack? Am I supposed to pay diamonds for that? Come on. Just give me the old rusty dusty. I'm not getting some brand new shackles. Oh my god. Mimi did have a glow up. Mimi looked good, bitch. Cold metal snapped around my neck with a ring out, and Mimi evidently spent diamonds on her collar because it's bright gold. A hostage, an animal. Not so long ago, everyone bowed to me, but the tables had turned, and I was the one who needed to keep her head down. They said, you gotta look good, right? You're gonna be voguing as prisoner. Holding the ring that pressed against my neck, Plague brought her face closer to mine and whispered enthusiastically, now you're my pet. I stubbornly resisted, and Plague immediately released me. Staggering back from my inertia, I nearly fell off my feet. She's rich enough for us. The horsewoman only smiled and turned to Eve, who had been standing off to the side the whole time. The stranger looked obedient. I would even say subdued, but her eyes still sparkled. She was obviously a strong woman, but she obeyed Plague for some reason. Eve, come with me. You need to be well hidden. Damn, she looks sad as fuck. Plague grabbed her by the hand and flew up. She broke through the ceiling and disappeared with the woman. Fragments of concrete and several pieces of rebar fell, almost crushing our skulls. Lucifer slumped against the wall, sliding to the floor with a blank expression on his face. Damn, he is sucked fucking dry from this experience. Oh no. I have to imagine keeping your composure around her is exhausting. What's wrong with them? What do you mean, what's wrong with that? The fucking Vic? Think about what just happened. Think about you were locked in a fucking dungeon for 3 months and they had to deal with her, you dumb bitch. Normally I am on Vicky's side, but god damn, she's annoying the fuck out of me. At first I thought he was hurt, but I couldn't see any visible injuries. Aragon shook off a pile of plaster. How dare you stand here while she destroys everything? I don't even want to hear anything. I don't want to hear anything from him because he straight up got his ass handed to him. She threw him into the floor. Every orifice out of his face started bleeding. He has no right. Before he could finish, Plague returned. Oh, she about to fuck him up. Her landing shook the walls again. The holes and cracks covered the floor. Alright, now we can take a walk. She picked up the chains and yanked them towards her. Mimi and I fell on our knees in front of her. The chains were taut. The ring squeezed our necks and pulled us towards the horsewoman. You need to be walked. Mimi looked at her with undisguised fury, but the tears in her eyes made her face appear less hostile. That fucking sucks, dude. I closed my eyes, trying to count to 10. I had done this in my cell to center myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pike, tie their wings so they won't fly away. Pike tied Mimi's rings. He came over to me. He whispered, I'm sorry. The acolyte tightened the ropes and they dug into the skin, crushing feathers. Benicio, will you look after your son? She looked Dino up and down. Will you be a good boy? Yes, mistress. Ooh, hold on. Calling her mistress? Ooh. Okay. Got kind of a little BDSM thing going on up around here. I'll look after him, mistress. Oh my god. Hold on, this is kind of hot. Okay, Torrendo? Yes, mistress? Find that thing we talked about? Yes, mistress. Plague nodded to Pike and he opened the doors. Malbonte, Lucifer, Dino, Mimi, they all seemed to be living in their own worlds. I had never felt so alone and abandoned. Everyone was trying to cope with the horror in their own way. Plague left the hall, pulling Mimi and me along with her. Well, as if under escort, moved after her. The city was dilapidated. Houses covered with layer of soot, incinerated trees, and frightened, lost mortals not yet fully aware that the end of the world was upon them. Despair, emptiness, and hopeless sadness loomed in the air. I walked, stepping quickly and trying not to fall as Plague strolled around the city, carelessly and randomly pulling the chains taut and then loosening them. We really were like dogs on a walk. So this is what the capital of heaven looks like. I didn't have time to take a proper look around when I was destroying everything here. She stretched wearily. Ugh, my work is rough and tedious after all. Instead of having fun, I have to deal with you, solve problems, rebuild. But I'll do my job properly. Mother will be pleased with me. Plague spoke incessantly, not paying any attention to Mimi and me. Her puppets trailed behind, ready to attack anyone who got close. I barely tilted my head towards Mimi and whispered, What happened? How did she manage to resurrect you and the rest? Mimi pursed her lips. I don't know. I don't remember much from non-existence. I am so excited to go back and rewatch these episodes from people who didn't start from the default because I want to know how their dialogue changes. You're kind of there, but not really. She came and summoned us. Some followed her and others stayed behind. Plague resurrected Dad, but he escaped. I couldn't tell from her voice whether she was happy about it or angry at him. Or maybe both. I feel like I'm in a dream. If Plague hadn't brought back the dead, it would be a hopeless nightmare. It's hopeless as it is, Vicky. When you were locked up, you couldn't see. You couldn't see what she was doing. Mimi glanced at Plague warily, checking to see if she could hear us. Everything was on fire. So many immortals died. She was laughing. I can still hear her laughter. Mimi. Plague tormented us all until we swore allegiance to her, until we fell to our knees begging for mercy. She smiled bitterly. Although, I'm probably the only one who had to do it. What about Dino joined her himself. I don't know what Fenicio said to him. Lucifer, too. Maybe his father made him believe, but I find that hard. Ugh, maybe his father made him, but I find that hard to believe. He's too angry, too cold with anyone who cared about him. Mimi's words were so full of bitterness and disappointment that I felt uneasy. She was always so independent and cheerful. What did Plague do to her while I was kept in the dungeon? I thought I'd been through hell. But hell wasn't the loneliness in the dark. It was Plague's perverse attention, even beneath an indifferent sun. Yeah, so she was in my playthrough as well, talking about Mimi being the principal of the academy, but I restarted the book, never finished it. So they just put me in the default kind of ending where like literally everyone died. I do want to be best friends with her again though. Okay, we'll do it. If she sees, despite her fear, Mimi seemed to perk up. Her eyes sparkled with hope, longing for contact and warmth, and I repeated, stretching out my open palm. Give me your hand, don't be afraid. I glanced at Plague and Lucifer and Malbonte walking in front. They were busy talking and didn't look in our direction. Vicky. Mimi hesitated, but eventually extended her hand. Her trembling fingers reached out for me, seeking to grasp my hand and never let go of it again. We tried not to move any closer so that Plague wouldn't notice us by the extension of the chains. We had to follow her, trying to find each other's hands almost without looking. Finally, I felt her fingertips graze mine, but they drifted away again before I could clasp them. Fatigue and fear that Plague might notice and disapprove made me tremble. My palms became cold and sweaty. Mom spaghetti. I decided to take a chance and stepped lightly to the side so I could reach her. And then Mimi stretched her arm even further, seeking my hand. This is sad, bro. Oh my god. Paid 56 diamonds just to be sad again. We clasped our fingers. Oh, wait, hold on! Did I miss that the artwork is actually done, like, according to the skin color of your MC? Wow. We clasped our fingers together, squeezing as hard as we could. Oh my god, dude, this is depressing. This one warm touch, with its fleeting tenderness and kindness, softened Mimi's inner agony. I saw her eyes warmed up, how a timid smile appeared on her lips. I wanted to burst into tears at how vulnerable she was in that moment. Everything will be fine. Thank you. Lucifer suddenly stopped and turned to us with such a look of fury that we sharply withdrew our hands. Ooh! I immediately felt so cold and lonely and infinitely miserable. Once again, I saw only the concealed wickedness of the rest of the world. Damn, Lucy. I met his gaze head-on with bitter interest. I can't believe you're on her side. It just can't be. Plague suddenly stopped, relaxing our chains. It's all interesting, of course, but it's not what I need. I've put things in order around here, but I need access to the mortals. And I need those who will help with my mission. I know, we've already talked about this. And everything is ready. You're expected at a special place. There, you can easily observe life on Earth and descend if necessary. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is not going to be good. It is sad, pretty well written. Yes, it is very well written. The artwork is hands, not that difficult to make multiple versions. So I've heard that in this book they apparently make like different versions of CGI for each of the characters. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing that. You'll have plenty of immortals at your disposal to carry out tasks. Plague looked at Lucifer with an unexpectedly soft and satisfied expression. If she don't stop flirting with my motherfucking man. And what is this place? The Angels and Demons Academy. Damn. The ground seemed to vanish from under my feet at that moment. The world began to spin. Memories rushed over me like an avalanche, sweeping away the devastation, but also bringing an irrational hope along with chilling terror. I felt Malbonte's eyes on me. Surely he remembered all the same things that I remembered. Plague laughed loudly and exclaimed, Which one? Are you asking about which book? It's this book. So like I think in book 1, like seasons 1 through 3, they only had like one version of each CGI for like the white Vicky. And now they're supposed to be making for like all of the different little scenes that they show is supposed to show whichever version of her you picked. Supposedly. I don't know. That's the first time that I've seen a CG of her that had this kind of, oh, which one of your mans? Lucifer. What do you mean which one? Oh my god, have I been that inconsistent? I know. Listen, I get it. I'm thirsty. So like I'd be kind of flirting with everybody. But it's really Lucifer. Then let's go to the academy. Damn. Things are dark here. Things are so dark here. Okay, I do have to stop. It's been almost 2 hours. I don't know when the next time I'm going to stream is. Who knows? I don't really have a schedule. I'm not really trying to adhere to a schedule. I will try to give more ample notice this time when I get on, because I know this one was a bit of a surprise. But I really appreciate everyone hopping on in such short notice. I had so much fun. Well, I guess like fun is, I'll caveat that by saying it was a very depressing uh set of chapters. But I'm looking forward to eventually having more time with each of the characters away from Plague. That's kind of what I'm looking towards. Thank you everybody for joining. Oh, also as a reminder, if everyone hasn't like necessarily caught up to it yet, I am doing like a little bit of a rebrand for the podcast and streaming, hence why you see a new logo, new social media names for like the majority of them. So just keep that in mind if you see a name, like a tweet or post from a social media account with name, I don't remember, we're doing a little bit of a rebrand. But thank you so much, KT, for coming. Thank you so much for coming. I'll try to put more of an ample notice, but that's pretty much it for me. I'll be back eventually to stream Heaven Secret because obviously we're not done with it, and I'm not done. Looking depressing can be fun. It can be. Thank you for giving me permission. It can be fun to be sad when the sadness is fake and not real. But I hope everyone has a really great night. And thank you so much for joining.